Hello, everyone. Welcome to Two Old Ladies That Bet and Stuff, where we make sports betting fun and easy. Our goal here is to give you a proven sports betting strategy with little investment. We usually say, you can start small. Bet $10, $20 per game, no unit plays or parlays. Just remember, a small victory per day, equals a lot at the end of the year. I mean, if you just take a look at $138 a day, that equals like $50,000 at the end of the year that you can do a whole bunch of fun stuff with, right? Pay off some bills, maybe get a new car, take a vacation. I mean, that's what we like to do. We like to take vacations with our, sports winning. But welcome to our How to Bet series, right? So we're going to show some information here to some new folks on how to, place a wager and how to get into sports betting. I mean, because sports betting is only going to get bigger as more states go ahead and, approve it for legalization. But yeah, you can go ahead and, check us out at our website, twooldladiesthatbet.com. And of course, make sure you like and subscribe and click on the bell to get the latest notifications because we do give out free picks here every day. So make sure you check us out. But today, for our sports betting 101 class, we're going to go over, a little bit on some terminology, kind of basically, how to make a bet. But, after 30 years, we decided to go ahead and get into this because I think there wasn't really too many folks out there showing new people how to bet, right? Or giving strategies. I mean, there's tons of people giving picks. But of course, how do you find someone that you can trust as well? Because, you have to pick experts like us because, you're working and you probably don't have a whole lot of time to go ahead and go through the numbers like, we do as well. But we decided to go ahead and take our channel public, a couple of years ago because, our dad, he's the one that got us into sports betting. But he was a terrible gambler. And so we always thought there was a way to, that we could be better. And we'd like to go ahead and share that experience. I mean, he was the one that when I was 8 years old, he was like, "Oh, Mindy, we're in big trouble. Your mom's going to be so mad. We need to find a winner here on Monday Night Football to make up for my losses here over the weekend." You know what I mean? So it's one of those that it's been quite the fun ride over the years. And excited to share that experience. And it's really hard to beat Vegas. So don't forget, this is kind of a game of failure. To be good in this business, you hit at, 57 to 60%. So you have to be prepared, right? To sometimes lose 3 out of 7 days, something like that, right? To break even, it's only 52.5%. So again, just keep that in mind that this is a game that you play over the long run, right? It's not going to be any instant gratification. It might be boring sometimes, but I think you'll get the gist and you'll find a way to be successful. I mean, there's tons of different strategies and we'll kind of go through those as we go as well. All right, so maybe we should go ahead and get started, right? So we'll see how this works out. Something new that we're trying. So yeah, it's our Betting 101 series. We're going to go ahead and kind of do terminology, kind of how to place, your bets. And so this is me and my sister. So we've been tag teaming it for a long time now. And you can find us on all sorts of, social media places where we go ahead and, give out our plays every day. All right. So here's kind of, maybe one of the bigger ones, right? You got to find a handicapper that you can trust. Because again, there's lots of different ways, to do this. You can have multiple handicappers that you can like. You can find, a group. I'm in charge of one that's called the Morning Steam. And so it's a group of people where we kind of do more of we collaborate. We put our same minds together, right? And they come in with picks that they like, and I have picks that I like. And if it meshes, well, then maybe they'll just go ahead and play those picks. But I do have a proven track record. I am one of the professional handicappers at tonyspicks.com. So you can always go to tonyspicks.com and you take a look at my record there because that one is tracked by a third party. So I have nothing to do with it. I put in my plays. It's tracked. Those numbers are what they are, right? And also find a handicapper that does a guarantee, like especially if you're going to pay for picks, right? We have for sale picks for a low cost on our website. Those are like our best of the best plays, right? Otherwise, we give out free ones here on the channel also. But with our best of the best picks, we also give you a guarantee. So if you buy a week-long subscription and we don't win over that week, we're going to give you another week for free because we like to make sure that you have a good experience. And we want to make sure that, that we win. We want to back up our information. We know that we're good enough to do that. And we're experienced, right? Like I said, been doing this for 30 years, but just came public with it about 4 years ago. And of course, you need a good winning percentage. We are able to most times be able to stay within that 60%, range. And we are some of the top, handicappers in the nation. And I'm not just, saying that to say it. I do have the numbers to back it up. And my job it's not for me for, gratification. It's again, to do this as a whole, because I want it to become normal, especially for women, to get into sports betting. So I'm going to try to do this as a community. It's not just about me. I'm here to, give you my information. I've worked really hard for a long time to come up with a proven strategy, and I think I can do that as well. All right. So then, basically next step is, you got to kind of find a place to make a bet, right? So you found a handicapper that you can trust, or you can, trust yourself. That's okay too. And now find a place to bet. So there's lots of different places where you can go, right? You can go to your local casino, right? You can hit the Iowa Ameristar or something like that. Or you can fly to Vegas once a year and place bets. But most of us in this business, we like to go ahead and bet every day. It's kind of like a part-time job for us, or a full-time job in my case, right? You can also bet online, and you can do this via a web-based, browser, or you can do it on a phone as an app. Some of the, big ones here are DraftKings, FanDuel, PointsBet. But again, each state is going to be different with what you can use, right? So I can't use, say, DraftKings in the state of Nebraska, because sports betting isn't legalized there yet. So again, it's going to be where you live. You'll have to check out, your particular state's, information or recommendation, or I don't know, legalities, however you want to say it. And then there's always offshore, right? So if you live in one of those states where, perhaps it may not be, passed yet legally, you can go ahead and use an offshore account, something like Bovada, right? It's just that, there's a little bit more, I would say, maybe nervousness about it, because there really isn't any, gaming commission backing this up. But again, if they, kind of screwed over, all of the people that were on Bovada, they wouldn't have any business. So I've never had any trouble with them. Most people have never had any trouble using an offshore account. Bovada is pretty popular as well. So yeah, it's pretty easy. It's one of those that you just go ahead and sign up. A lot of times you have to verify your location. And then it's pretty easy to just, put some money into your account, right? All right. So here, well, let's go ahead and, if we're really new, we're going to have to try to learn some sort of terminology, right? Because I know, like, some of my friends that have never sports betted before, when I talk about it, it just sounds like a foreign language, right? So they're even like, well, what's the spread, right? So we'll kind of take a look at it. So the spread is basically, if you look at that first column there, right, we're just taking a look at a basketball game here, the Orlando Magic versus the Philadelphia 76ers. So the margin of victory is set by odds makers to attract bets on both sides. So Vegas wants half of the population to bet on the Orlando Magic and half of the population betting on the 76ers. They don't want anything to ever be, two-sided. So that's why this spread, or what we also call the lines, right? So it may change. So basically, the team with the negative number is considered to be the favorite, right? So we think if these two teams are going to play a game, we're saying, well, for sure, the 76ers are going to beat the Magic. I mean, the Magic's like in last place, and the 76ers are playing really, really good basketball right now. And then the underdog would be that with the plus number, right? So what we're trying to do, what Vegas is trying to do is give this underdog team here some odds on what would make it fair in order for this Orlando Magic team to win by a particular number of points, right? So how this works is you are either going to be on the Orlando Magic side getting +9, or you're going to be on the Philadelphia 76ers team -9. Basically what it means is if you're on the 76ers, their final score, whatever that is, has to be 9 more points or more, 9 or more plus points over the total. right? So if the Philadelphia 76ers played a game and the game ended 110 for the 76ers and 100 for the Orlando Magic, the 76ers won by 10. So then they would win that -9, or they would beat the spread. So you would win if you picked the Philadelphia 76ers to win by 9. So that is the margin of victory that the 76ers have to win by. Now, if that final score wound up being Philadelphia 76ers 108 and the Orlando Magic 100, the Orlando Magic, you would win your bet at getting the +9 on that one, because basically if you add 100 plus 9, you're looking at 109 to a 76ers team that scored 108. So pretty cool, pretty fascinating stuff. And Vegas has, had 100 years of, sports betting algorithms that they've used to come up with these numbers to try to win. And Vegas is very, very good at it. So again, we kind of talked about the favorite, right? That's the expected straight up winner. So the 76ers, we're expecting them to win. They're the favorite. Their number is -9. And the underdog is a team that's expected to lose straight up. All right, so that's kind of like that first column there. And then the second column is going to be, the total. So basically, if we kind of used our scenario, right? The first one, if we say the Philadelphia 76ers, right? They scored 110 and the Orlando Magic scored 100. You would add those two together, right? So it'd be 210 would have been the final score of that game. So that means you would be under the total, right? So the odds makers, Vegas, is setting the over-under to be 230. So if your number came in under, you would win your bet if you selected the under, or if you selected the over, you would lose because the total score of the two teams never made it past that 230 points that was listed by Vegas. And then the other line is going to be the money line, right? So this is just straight up odds on who is going to just win the game outright, right? So we haven't really gone over, too much of the odds section itself, right? So basically kind of what this means is we'll kind of go over it later too. But on this one here, saying if you're playing $100 bet, or, we'll just say for the ease of things, $100 bet, knowing that you're probably not going to place $100 bets when you start, you would have to pay $410 to win 100. So, right? So maybe not a very good bet unless you have lots of cash, because why would you spend $410 to win 100? And it's on the other side here. If I bet $100 on the Orlando Magic to win, I would actually, if the Orlando Magic won, I would actually win $330. So it's kind of easy if you just think about it in round whole $100. And again, these odds next to it, and again, we'll kind of go over that as we go through this series. So to go ahead and place a bet, you always have to just pay Vegas money. That's just the way it is. It's called the juice or the vig. It's just the tax that you have to pay Vegas in order to place a bet. So on every $100, you have to pay $10 to Vegas. So they collect an extra $10 if you lose, and you only get $100 if you win. That's kind of how they've been able to stay in business so long. It's, kind of like the bank fees, the insufficient funds, that sort of thing. So every wager that you make, almost, you'll have to pay $110 to win 100. But we have found some strategies in order to go ahead and make our money, even with having to pay Vegas a little bit of a tax. So hopefully that kind of gives you a little bit of a rundown, initial terminology just on one bet. So if someone says, hey, what's the spread, right? You can look up on your app and say, well, it's the Philadelphia 76ers -9. That's the spread. And so they're the favorite. We expect the 76ers to win by 9. And then they'll say, hey, what's the total or the over under? And you can say that's 230.5. And then again, people will understand and you'll understand. And if you, want to make it to where you're just placing a money line bet, where you're just picking the winner, you can do that as well. So there's so many different ways to go ahead and take a look at, how to place bets, what a winning strategy is. And that's everything that we're going to cover here in our series of how to bet. And again, if you have any questions, please go ahead and make sure that you put those in the comments. We will go ahead and, answer all of those for you, as well. So yeah, look forward to the next one. And again, we put out plays every day. So make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you get those free plays. Again, our free plays are, they hit pretty well also. So take a look at those. All right, everyone. Have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.